Good morning, everybody. And good morning to Ursula. Yes, I am talking to you, lady. I understand that there's a lot of stuff going on that's probably really frustrating. But that's no excuse. Come on. Don't give up. As much as everybody around you is pissing you off, don't give up. Keep on fighting for the truth. Why? Well, one, that's all we got right now, is each other and the truth. Two, a lot of us are counting on you to give us the news. Why? Well, I'll be honest. I have no idea. Well, I find it very difficult to use my phone to get onto a lot of the news sources out there. I usually have to rely on a couple of very easy to get to places like the Drudge Report and some other stuff like the Intel Hub and Before It's News, and that's not extremely reliable, as we've seen. I rely on you guys to tell me stuff about what's going on that I can't get to very easily on my phone. And I rely on you guys to give me hope and strength. Ursula, you mean a lot to all of us. You really do. So there's no point giving up and getting all despondent because why? Because the sheep are continuing to be sheep? They're going to. A lot of them are going to continue to be sheep until they get a face full of the truth the hard way. But the more that we keep screaming at the top of our lungs, the more they are forced to listen. We're putting the order on the spot here. We have been for a while. You've been awake for a lot longer than I have. I only woke up this year. Partly thanks to you and some other people like Cyber Warrior and, hell, I don't even remember who the first video was that I actually started subscribing to. But you know what? You guys have been there the whole time I've been around, and you can even see, if you go to my channel page, you can see how all my videos are just like some sheep talking about stuff he loves, and then boom, big shot of the truth to the face. And you know what? That's what we're doing on a daily basis. You can't stop. Hell, I just had my ex tell me that that she legitimately thinks I'm crazy. I need a shrink, or I need to get myself some medication. I'm not going to do either of those things. I'm going to keep on screaming the truth. I'm going to keep on trying to wake her up. She subscribed to my channel just so she could troll me. But that's just fine. Maybe eventually I'll wake her the hell up. Every day we touch somebody, whether we know it or not. You got, last I checked, over 1,000 subscribers, right? Well, keep going. That's 1,000 people that are listening to your message, and even if they don't initially agree with it, or if they don't see the point that you're trying to make, they're there. They're being affected by you. They're never going to be the same again. They can never go back to sleep. So, I heard a quote the other day. I can't remember who said it, but he said, when the going gets weird, the weird get pro. Come on. Do whatever you got to do to drag yourself out of this funk. Because I get like that too. A lot of us get like that. We get this moment of like nobody's listening, nobody's freaking getting the message, nobody's changing. But slowly but surely, a lot of us are. Just because not enough of us are awake yet doesn't mean we should stop screaming the truth. We've got this 15 million person protest in our own backyard down in Mexico. I've seen video footage of it. I've read comments from people in Mexico talking about it, and it's true. They're blacking this out in the media. This is a huge, huge story. 15 million people are protesting peacefully. And they're doing it the right way. They're not just holding a parade in a city in the cordoned off area. They're marching right up to the freaking the city officials' buildings, and they're screaming about it. They're screaming about the injustice and the tyranny and the corruption in their government. And you know what? We've got the same injustice and corruption in our government. Why aren't Americans screaming like that? I know our population is bigger than Mexico. Why don't we have a bigger protest going on? You know? We see, like, tops, maybe 50,000 people in a day. And we don't get enough coverage of it to make it to the people who are asleep. They need to wake up. Why are we getting blacked out about this? Well, the government is afraid. They're afraid because they know that they are not on the side of freedom. They know that they are supporting tyranny. They are supporting senseless wars. They're supporting this UN agenda to push us into a one-world totalitarian state. We know this. It's blatant, clear as day. Agenda 21, Georgia Guidestones. I mean, hell, that's probably, right after the chemtrails, that's the first thing that actually woke me up to what's going on. And we got to keep screaming this. We got to break through this media blackout. One way or the other, we got to touch the masses. All right? There's no use giving up. Now more than ever, we're on the brink of economic collapse, social collapse, military collapse. You see it. Our militaries are stretched thin worldwide. You know? This is not the way things should be. We know it. They know it. Deep down subconsciously, the sheep still know it. So for anybody listening to this, Ursula, Cyber Warrior, I've watched you guys get into your down states, emotionally, and sometimes you snap back, but it does no good for anybody, for yourself especially, if you stay depressed. You got to focus. You got to focus because I don't know how to. And I'm jumping all over the place, and I'm talking about all sorts of crazy stuff like Nibiru, and the Anunnaki, and hell, my spiritual views, which are kind of out there for other people to read and to listen to. But you know what? It keeps coming back to the same message. The number one thing that we got to be looking out for is the coming collapse and all the stuff that's going to happen immediately following it. And the fact that the powers that be, world governments, the spiritual leadership, they're not going to be on the side of right. Order out of chaos. That's their stand. Individual freedom means chaos to them. The clock is ticking. We're on, today's the 11th. So we're on literally 16 days, half a month, until A, something happens at the opening ceremony of the Olympics, or B, they sign this UN treaty, which is going to end up banning all our guns. Maybe not immediately, but it's going to happen. That's literally the last step. So come on. I've been feeling and seeing some things in the last couple of days, which, a corner of me is basically saying, wow, you're going freaking nuts. Lately, I don't know who else is experiencing stuff like this, but lately, my right lower leg has been vibrating. Like, I feel the sensation of vibration there, as if I'm standing on a minor earthquake all the time. Last night, I had a deja vu, like straight out of the Matrix style deja vu. I went outside for a cigarette. I saw a really wicked spider web and an orange spider. So that's something that'll interest the knowledge vault. We're all picking away at this. We're getting closer and closer to the absolute truth. And you know what? It might be scary when we get there, but it's going to be so worthwhile. But yeah, I saw this orange spider, right? So I blew on it, to see if it moved, and it fell right out of its web. And then what happened? I decided to take a look up in the sky and see what was going on there. I looked for maybe 10 seconds, and the whole time the sky looked like dark static. It looked like dark static. I closed my eyes to make sure my night vision was going, it was going smooth, and it was still there. I looked back down at the spider web. There's that spider right in the middle. Again. Did it climb back up? I don't know. In 10 seconds? I don't know. But then I looked this morning, and the whole web, the spider, everything is gone. Like no trace of it, as if I imagined the whole thing. So you know what? Weird stuff is happening across the world, and we got to keep screaming about it. We got to keep telling people what we see of the truth. We got to keep waking them up. Because the only hope for we as the people to survive is to keep on waking each other up. Back to predictive programming, one of my favorite topics. How many video games and movies have come out in the last 20, 30 years depicting a post-apocalyptic scenario where pockets of survivors of some global calamity band together to literally survive? What always ends up happening? Almost always there's government forces involved, and they're always depicted as the bad guys. Why is that? They're telling us the absolute truth in our faces. That they are not there for the side of freedom. They are there for the side of, global tyranny. Hunger Games, Borderlands, freaking Rage, one of my favorites. Fallout, Road Warrior series, Waterworld, all these zombie movies, the zombie apocalypse. Sometimes you see government forces, sometimes you don't. Oh crap, where did she put the gate pass? Fine, I'll do this the hard way. I'm going to cut it off there, but, Ursula, you got to pick yourself up. I don't want to see you going crazy. I got enough people in my life thinking I'm crazy. You're not crazy. And it's always, always, always worth it to keep going with the message. Always. 100%. It doesn't matter that they think we might be terrorists. Keep on screaming it. That's all I got for you. Y'all stay safe now. Peace.